Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Lolade, and I am back with another natural hair video. In today's video, I'll be taking you guys along with me step by step and showing you guys how I part my own hair. I'm going to be putting my hair in a protective style, and the parts that I'm going to need are going to be quite small. Right now, my hair is in a stretched state, and if you're wanting to know how I stretch my hair with no heat, I'm going to link my video down below and also in the cards. If you find this video helpful and you enjoy, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It helps me out tremendously. And if you are not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I know this kind of looks funny, but my hair has been in these for maybe like 2 to 3 days, and I did like redo some and like did it again just to make sure that my hair is extremely stretched. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these off. And as you guys can see, like, it works so well. And that shine is still there. And y'all can see how soft that is. Not only does this method like helps my hair stretch, but when I moisturize my hair, it locks in that moisture. Like, you guys can see that shine still there, and it just looks and feels and is healthy. So what I like to do is start from the back and go forward when I do my parts. But right now I'm gonna part my hair into 4 sections. And for the side part here, I always go like right behind my ear. I don't know if y'all can see. And I go straight up from my ear. And you have to make sure that your head is kind of straight, because if it's not, then you might have like a diagonal part. So, you know, keep your head straight and part straight up. So after I got my hair parted from ear to ear, now I'm going to part this back section into 2. So I'm really trying to create this bottom section because it's going to be the first section that I work on. So a way that I like to do this is by placing the rat tail comb right above my ear and turning my head to the side. I feel like that's the easiest way to get a really clean, straight part, especially because I can't really see the back of my head. So I use that technique sometimes to help me get a nice clean part. And as you can see, that kind of worked perfectly. So now for the other half of this line, I kind of use my fingers and the rat tail comb to kind of help guide me. I definitely feel for the line. I definitely use my sense of touch to help me part my hair as well. And to also make sure that my line is clean, I like to use my mirror to kind of like see and make sure that my part is actually what I'm feeling and that I'm happy with my part. So it even takes me a few takes to get the perfect line, but as soon as I get it, as soon as I'm satisfied with what I have, I begin to measure out that back section to kind of figure out how many rows this back section is going to have. So after kind of measuring with my eyes, I wanted to do 3 rows for this section. And again, I use my fingers to help guide where I want to part. I also use my fingers to help measure how many twists are going to be in each row. So for this row, I felt as if I needed to do 5 sections, so 5 different twists for this row. And I also like to use gel just to make sure that my lines are actually clean and all my strands are where they need to be. And this part is pretty simple. You just part your hair down. Instead of going horizontal, you're gonna part it vertically now. So now that I have all my sections in this row parted and twisted away, we can move on to the second row. So for this row and The whole section, the whole back section, the whole back middle section is going to be the exact same thing, where I part my hair by turning my head and then using my fingers to help guide me in knowing where my line is. Then I use my mirror to kind of double check, triple check how many ever checks I need to get that perfect line. Then I begin to part my hair vertically to separate each section. And I don't know if you're wondering, but the way that I measure a small section is by the tip of my finger. So it cannot be as big as my fingernail. That's another way that I measure out my sections and my parts to know whether it's too big or too small. I use my finger or my fingernails or basically the touch of my fingers to know how big or small the section should be. All right, so since the middle is pretty much the same as the back, I'm gonna show you guys how I do the front, and then I'm gonna come back when I do everything. Okay, so first I like to do a middle part just so we can keep everything even. And if I want a side part, I can just flip the hair that way. It usually naturally works out that way. So I'm gonna start with my middle part. Is it just me? Like, I feel like it's a little off. Here's one tip, and this is one thing that my cousins and sisters used to do to me when I was small when they did my hair. They just go from the nose straight up. Okay. All right, so what I do with the back, with this back section, is what I do with everything here. And the front is gonna be a bit different because it is the front of my face. And what I do on this side is what I do on this side too. So once I'm done doing everything, or after I show you this, once I'm done doing everything, I'll come back. But let's do this first. Okay, so for this section, you kind of have to keep your head shape in mind. For some people, this section could be longer or even smaller. From the back of my ear to the front of my headline, could be different for some people. I like to start from the bottom and then work my way up this way. So let's do that. I do mine like row by row, like this. So let's go ahead and start. And remember to like always keep your head kind of straight, because if you keep it down, you might do it this way, and then it's not straight, you see? So you have to kind of keep your head straight and go through. Then you kind of get a straight line, just like that. So for this section, I can already see and feel that it's gonna be 3 twists, right? And you also have to keep in mind, like when you pull your hair, you're pulling that line too. So don't like pull or snag on your hair too hard, or else you can really miss that line, right? So y'all don't mind me, I don't have my glasses on me. So, all right. So just because my sections are gonna be small, I'm going to have 3 twists here. So it's gonna be 1, and then 2 and 3, just like that. I think it's crazy how like different these lengths are. This one's like all the way down here. This one's all the way up here. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out. So these are my 3 sections. Nice and neat. Next, we are coming up to my edges. Well, actually, before I get to my edges, I believe I want to do one more spot before my edges right here. Before my edges start. Okay, good. So for this is gonna be 4 parts, I believe. Or is it 3? Let's see. 1, 2. We can make that 3. No need to like force that one. So this is gonna be 1. Now as we go up, of course we're gonna increase in numbers. The next one is probably gonna be 4. And also you wanna notice that here is much longer than the front. So you're gonna have to, well for me, I'm going to like kind of tilt down towards my face, right? So it's gonna be kind of a diagonal once I go up. Yeah. So you guys see how it's like no longer a straight line anymore because I'm getting to the curve of my head. So you kind of have to follow your head shape. So you want to make sure that the line is pretty smooth, that all the baby hairs are in this little section. So I'll go ahead and put my gel on there and twist all that together. Okay, so this one ended up being 4, 3, and 3. This section, I like to part it this way so it can be in line with my edge here because my headline comes a little bit forward this way. So I just parted it like this and brought my hair forward. And I have a feeling, and I know that this is gonna end up being 3 twists here. Okay, so it's gonna end up looking like this, the front. After that, I could just keep going down this way, just like that. And if you wanna make things, you know, a bit easier, you could just get some gel and then put it on the entire section. So if you feel like some parts are thicker than others, that's okay, just as long as you keep that same size for each section, you're good. So I'm on my last section for this part, and here's a little tip that you could use to help you get a more even part. So I already know for this side it's gonna be 4, and the way that I could do that is by splitting this section in half first. So once I get the whole section in half, then I know that this is gonna be 2 and this is gonna be 2. So I can split that in half again. And then that's 1, 2. And then split this one into 2. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 even sections. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sections here on one side. And all I have to do is just mimic the same thing on the other side and I'm all set. So I can already see that that's gonna look really good once I add my hair. If I do an updo, it's gonna look nice. All right, everyone, I am finally done doing my parts. This is how everything looks so far. This is how it looks. So yeah, now I'm gonna start doing my protector style. And if you're interested on seeing that, go ahead and leave me a comment letting me know that you want me to make a video on that. So if you guys have any further questions, you can go ahead and leave them down below. I'll try my best to answer as clear as I can. Don't forget to give this video a like and share this video with anybody you feel like it will help. And also subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace.